Hello and welcome everybody to this session on how we supported a frozen food supplier getting the best out of Odoo. My name is Jeffrey. I'm the business lead for Dynapps for the Flanders region. I'm joined here with my colleague Joachim, who is the technical lead on this project. First, some logistics in case of any questions. Feel free to scan already the QR code and. So we can get this show on the road. Let me quickly give you an introduction about Dynapps, and then I will hand it over to Joachim. Basically, our core business is we digitalize business processes in Odoo. We have a whole breadth of companies that we support, small companies, larger companies. But our core competency is in most of the manufacturing, logistics processes, and companies that range from any sector or location. A few numbers. Since a few days we can call ourselves the number one in the world. That's mainly based on the number of implementations and clients that we support. So we're getting close to the 300 mark. We have about 6,000 users that we actively support with our support team, a turnover of almost 8 million, and we do that with 120 employees. But actually the most important number there is the 96%, to be honest. 96% of satisfied customers, and that's also the retention rate. So clients of Dynapps, they keep being a happy client. Also perhaps important to mention, a while ago we were certified ISO 27001. That basically means that we are compliant to a number of standard security practices, so our customers and our clients can be sure that their data is kept and managed securely. Here's a view on a couple of our offices. So two in Belgium, one in Geel and one in Ghent, and in the meantime also two in the Dutch region. All right. So this was a quick introduction of Dynapps. Let me give the floor to Joachim, who will tell you more about the project.
Okay. Hello. Good afternoon. I'm Joachim. I have been working for 1 year for Dynapps now, but before I had some experience with Python already. So in total I have 5 years of experience in Python. And 1 year I've been working with Odoo. I'm a technical developer at Dynapps, so I'm gonna talk a bit more technical today, maybe than I've seen in the other talks. Let's get started. So this was a project that I've been working on for the past 6-7 months. It's a frozen vegetable company in Flanders, and they are one of the leading European frozen food producers. So they have a lot of throughput. They export about 80,000 tons of final products each year, and they have about 140 different finished products, such as these princess beans that you can see here. A lot of products. We've upgraded their Odoo installation, so we did some improvements. First, they were working with an Odoo version 12, and we've upgraded that to version 16. But all the while, we made sure that they are using the new functionalities of version 16, and that they were using more of standard Odoo. We also developed some new functionality. They had a transport module, which they were not using at that time for version 12. So we've updated the transport module, and they use it now. We also made some performance gains by refactoring the apps for price lists and price contracts, which is something custom for them. And we also did a lot of, we made more unit tests. So before there were not so many tests, but now there's more than 90% of code coverage. So we updated their Odoo version, but it was not as simple as just updating. We added some functionality that was available in Odoo but was not used yet. For example, this is how they numbered their packages in a certain way. It's called the SSCC numbering. It's a European standard for numbering packages. Before, this was all custom code. Now, while developing, I've tried to make this visible to the customer, how they number their packages, and they can change how it is numbered. The things that I marked in red are customizations of Odoo which are not standard. For example, you have add the GS1 control number there. This will make sure that there is a number at the end of each packaging numbering that's calculated in a certain way. Then for each date, for each day of the year, they need to reset their numbering to start again. This was just an Oka module that I got from the community. I installed it, and this was part of the solution. And then they also needed the last number of the current year, and I added this also to their numbering. So now their packages are numbered this way. First, the last number of the year, so we're 2023, so a 3. Then the day of the year, this is just counted from 1 to 365. Then a 13, which is fixed, and then the sequence number, and the GS1 control number. If they ever want to change how their numbering works, they can now, and before they couldn't. So I think this is a nice improvement for their Odoo installation. I did something similar for their printing management. So when they print documents, they sometimes need to print 2 copies, sometimes more copies, 4 copies. And there is actually a module also available in the Oka repository. But you couldn't set the number of copies that were printed. So I added this functionality. Now they can set how many copies they need to print, and if they need to collate their documents. Well, collating is something like this. So if you print 3 pages and 3 times, if it's collated, you print page 1 to 3 times. If it's uncollated, you print 3 times page 1, then 3 times page 2, and so on. So yet another improvement on Odoo and their customizations. I also developed further the transport module, which existed already. This is just the starting page of the transport module. Here you can see which stock pickings are waiting to be picked for this week and are in the right state, available or waiting. The transport module is actually used like if there's a truck arriving, they want to they do multiple pickings at one time. For example, if there's a truck going to France and it delivers to 3-4 shops, they can now include all these pickings and put it inside the truck. The truck drives to France and goes to the 3-4 shops, and they are offloaded at the correct location. So this module enabled them to link the deliveries to their trucks and have some extra information while they're doing this. another functionality that was extended. This is partly the price list module that exists in Odoo, but partly also customizations. The things in red are custom, so you can now add a price contract. So for each shop, they need different price contracts, and they have different dates, starting and ending dates. And there was also some customization on pricing. So normally in Odoo, if you put a price, it's put on the default price unit. But now they can choose their price unit, and it gets recalculated to the price that's available in Odoo already. So you can see here, for cauliflower, it's €1 per kilo, but for the peas vine, it's €1 per UVC, which is kind of selling like the box that is sold inside of the shop. If you click to contracts, then you can see the different contracts that are linked to this price list, and you can also make changes in one contract at a time. You can also set the starting and ending date here, and it updates all the other dates that were in the price list. I'm also going to talk a bit about testing, because I think it's quite an important part of developing. So if you write the correct tests, then if you implement the customer stories that they have, then you can make sure that everything that is to be expected that the customer does, that it works well. I'm going to illustrate this by yet another customization. This is the rainbow palette customization. So if there are multiple products, they sometimes want to put this just on a few pallets. For example, at the top right, you can see that there are a few layers with different products, but there are multiple products per pallet. This is another example. So to the left, you can see that there were three products, and they are 75% of the pallet 2 times, and then 60% of the pallet 1 time. So in total, these 3 products take in about 2.10 pallets. But they overload their pallets a little bit. They want to load more products onto the pallet. So this can be loaded onto 2 pallets. And if you make these rainbow pallets, the layers are split. And they are split in the way that you see to the right above. The largest layers are put at the bottom of the pallet, and then on top of that, the rest of the products go at the top. Well, this was actually a case that they had a lot of documentation on. They had about 10 pages of documentation with all the cases that they had for making rainbow pallets. And this was also integrated inside the code. So every case that they thought of is tested. So if anything changes about the rainbow pallet algorithm as it is implemented, this will be tested and it will still work. If it doesn't work, the code can't be pushed and it can't be the update can't be done. This is another kind of testing. So we did some JavaScript improvements or customizations because they want to scan and they need to scan fast. In some cases, they don't want to scan the whole layer and things. And this is only possible if you customize the JavaScript code. So we wrote also some JavaScript tests which can be run automatically in the background whenever you push to GitLab. And I also wanted to say that we always try to get 90% coverage or more for our tests. So if you get this kind of coverage, you can be sure that in these lines that have been covered, there are no syntax errors, and you can also test the functionality. So if you also test the user stories, then you get some good coverage from your testing. So I'm going to end with the learnings from this project. So we improved upon current Odoo while migrating. We maximized the Odoo functionality. So always look if there's something in Odoo that you can use and do this first. If it's not possible, then you need to code it yourself, but try to use the Odoo functionality. We developed some new functionality too. And if you are testing, try to keep your tests simple, but really use the user scenarios that you know of. Because if you test your user scenarios, then you can be sure that these will at least work well. So that concludes my presentation. I don't know if you have any questions.
Yeah. Any questions from the audience? In the meantime, just to add, big congratulations on this project, by the way, because this was a lot of lines of code that you cleaned up, actually, moving from 12 to 16. So congratulations from my side and for the entire audience.
Can you hear me
A
all
large
right?
code base. Yeah.
All right. So
Yes.
don't hesitate to ask any more questions. For now, we have one. How much effort of total coding did you put into developing the automated test?
How much? I would say, like for a module that took a week, I took 2 days after that to make a test, to make the right test. But that seems a lot, but it isn't, because if you change the module afterwards, then you will have this. It will be easier for you because you will know that your tests haven't broken, and that your code is still correct this way.
Okay, maybe I can ask a follow-up question. Do you plan on continue acting this way towards testing?
Yeah, the fact that automated testing is something that we include in any project these days. It also fits into the CI/CD deployment methods nowadays. So yes, for any project, this is something that we do and implement.
All right, thank you very much. If you have any further questions, I invite you to write them on a pad. Otherwise, maybe if anyone is still thinking about something, you can maybe remind us where we can find you in the Odoo experience.
Hall 7 and Hall 10.
Sorry?
Hall 7 here and Hall 10.
All right, thank
Both
you very
booths.
much.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Goed gedaan.